It has been 2 years since I've done a user testing review video, and now that we are at the end of 2021, I think it's time for an update. Hello, my name is Mara. Welcome to my channel. So if you are just finding out about user testing, or this is your first time in a long time that you decide to go back to the website, I figure that I'm gonna just spend some time just being completely honest with you in terms of what I think about user testing now and whether or not I think it's worth it. UserTesting.com is a website that is really geared to help startup companies, major tech companies, really companies of any type, receive brutally honest feedback from their customers. What does that mean? Some of the information that large companies and small startups want to find out about will include whether or not their new website is working properly. They may want to find out what consumers think about their new products. They may want to find out what consumers think about their mobile apps and possible web pages. These are just some of the examples of scenarios. A lot of them are NDA and I'm not even allowed to tell you what they are, but those are some of the general examples of the kind of testing opportunities you're going to find on usertesting.com. So the companies that utilize user testing are looking for testers from all parts of the world, not just the United States or Canada. So just depending on what the test is, they're looking for people from multiple countries, which also means that they're looking for people that speak multiple languages depending on what the opportunity is and when it's presented. The big qualifications to be eligible for all user tests is that you have to be at least 18 years old, have reliable Wi-Fi, have access to a computer or a smartphone or a tablet. Before you are eligible to do any of the paid testing opportunities, user testing is going to have you do a 10 to 15 minute test on some sort of scenario very similarly to what you would see for an actual test. They're going to have you do different tasks, and the big thing that they're going to want you to do is think out loud and follow directions. You should be able to hear back from user testing within 7 to 10 business days, and they will let you know whether or not you pass the unpaid test in order to qualify to take real life tests from there on. And if not, I think you have the opportunity to take the test a second or third time, but as long as you can, once again, follow directions and think out loud for the unpaid screening test of user testing, then that should be able to open the doors to a lot of the paid testing opportunities. So I wanted to mention that. Tests can range from just a couple minutes, maybe like 5 minutes, where you may receive about $4 to anywhere on average for a $10 test that could range from 10 to 15 minutes of your time, to 30-minute testing opportunities, which are usually going to be live screenings that you'll have via Zoom or Skype. And for 30-minute screenings, you're going to be receiving $30, and those are almost always going to be video recorded. And then some of my favorite testing opportunities are the longer ones. So for 60 or 90-minute testing opportunities, those are almost always going to be video recorded. You're going to be interviewed by the company representatives that are trying to get your consumer feedback about their products or services. And for 60-minute tests, you will get paid $60. And what's great is with user testing is you literally get paid a week, literally a week after you have finished a test. So if you did a test at 3:07 p.m. on a Tuesday, you're gonna get paid on 3:07 p.m. the following Tuesday for that test. And they issue their payments via PayPal. That's pretty cool. What do I like about user testing? What I like is the flexibility. Because you are not even an employee, you can go on user testing whenever you want to. And so if you have only 5 minutes to spare, you can just go on there and see if there's a quick test. Or if you have a very flexible schedule, you can just keep your tab open or your app open, because they have an app, and just see what kind of testing opportunities there are throughout the day. If you look at my screen recording, you'll notice that if you do see any testing opportunities and you decide to apply for it, anytime you hear the ding, all that information you're applying for that current testing opportunity to screen is gonna automatically go down. So that's really frustrating. I think the website really needs to work on that. So it's hard to stay focused on, once again, applying for a current screening opportunity for a test when new opportunities just keep going down and you find yourself losing information. That's really frustrating. User testing staff, if you're watching this video, please work on that, because that just gives me a giant headache. That's specifically if you're working on the desktop version. Another thing I've noticed, I didn't really notice this back in 2019, is that user testing is now offering testing opportunities that record your face, that record your camera. Maybe they want to see your facial expressions to see how you're doing with facial expressions, to maybe see frustration, or I don't really know what the psychologists and what the UX designers are looking for with the facial recordings, but that's just a new thing. So do all tests have that opportunity to do facial recordings? No, but you'll see that little icon for the tests. So just keep that in mind. I think another thing I've noticed now is that there are now 90-minute tests, which is really cool. I haven't been qualified for any of the 90-minute testing opportunities, but I think that it's just a cool opportunity that they are around. That's an hour and a half of your life that you'll never get back, that you'll at least get $90 for. So it's worth applying for, as long as you qualify for whatever the testers are looking for. A big tip that I have for you is to speak out loud. If you wind up qualifying for a test, they want to hear your opinions. So if you're having trouble with a website that they're trying to test out, speak on that. Say, oh my God, this website's not working, or this looks weird, or something's not working, or you're not understanding the purpose of something. They want to hear everything, good or bad. Do not stay silent, because if you stay silent, that's going to impact your rating, which will therefore impact the number of testing opportunities you receive. So I think right now I still have 5 stars. So really the reason for that is because I'm paying attention to what the testers want for each test, and I'm always thinking out loud. It may sound silly to you, but it's almost like, just think that you're talking to yourself and you're just trying to think, how do I do this? How am I using this app? How am I interfacing with it? As far as a big recommendation I have for you is, if you are going to look for tests to apply to take, I would look for the bigger tests, like the 60-minute or 90-minute screenings, just because it's gonna be more money in your pocket, and that's not a bad thing. One of the things I don't like about user testing is that you wind up wasting a lot of time applying for testing screenings, and I would say about 98% of them you may not qualify for, unless you're sitting around your computer like me and you have the tab open and you're just applying constantly throughout the day. Maybe if you're lucky, you might get a $10 test that day. Maybe, maybe not. I cannot make that guarantee for you. The biggest thing I can say is, the longer you are on the website, then the more opportunities you'll have to see testing opportunities and to potentially qualify for a screening. Just note that that's also going to be first come, first serve. So just because you qualify doesn't mean that all of a sudden you're going to be eligible to get it. Unfortunately, I recently got laid off, so now I have a little bit more time on my hands, and unfortunately my bills won't pay themselves. So I've been on the user testing site more often, and I would say for maybe the past 5 days up to this point, I have made $90, and that was from 1 60-minute test and 3 10-minute tests. Hey, $90 is not a lot of money, but that's going to help with groceries, with gas, or with at least one of my bills, and any extra money in our pockets is not a bad thing. In conclusion, would I recommend user testing? Yes and no. No, I would not. I would not recommend user testing at all if you're looking for a consistent part-time or full-time job opportunity. And I say that because all the opportunities on user testing are so sporadic. There is no guarantee that you're going to even qualify for any tests, or much less find any tests. And I really don't want you wasting your time, especially when you could be applying for a minimum wage part-time job and possibly making more money at the end of the day doing that than doing user testing. However, if you have some free time on your hands, or maybe you're also now unemployed and you have a lot of free time on your hands and you are able to commit to either staring at your computer, tablet, or your phone app throughout the day, then possibly, yes, I would recommend user testing as long as you have the mindset that it's going to be supplemental income. Well, anyway, folks, if you have any questions for me about user testing from the perspective of a tester, not a UX designer, or if there are any other kind of UX testing websites you want me to test out and let you know about, just comment below. Thank you for watching this, and I hope you have a great day. And if you are looking for any kind of income opportunity tips or video reviews, whether you are an independent online tutor or you're just looking to do some kind of UX testing opportunities, definitely subscribe to this channel because I'm going to be having more content rolling out. All right, everybody, thank you and have a great day.